3, 2, and 1.
Hallelujah to the only true and wise King. Let everyone know EMA Barbs Health Corner is online, and we are live and well. Praise the Almighty King, who rules and reigns in splendor, power, and might. Hallelujah. Okay, don't forget the thumbs up, family. Don't forget thumbs up. Thumbs up. I love you all. Now, guess what? We're going to be doing something from time to time when the weather gets bad. Tobias and I have thought about something we're going to be doing at a different location, and sort of make it easier for us. Now, you all have to bear with us. We've been working on this, and so you all gonna have from every so often when the weather gets bad at a different location, and we're working on that now. Know this, that he's begun a good work, and I'm going to start this off, that he has begun a good work, and you shall perform it until the day of my Yahuwah Elohim, for his praise and for his glory. We love the Creator, and we serve the only true and wise God. Hallelujah. All those that he has made, he's made to the fruition. We are to the fruition of his power and his glory. We're going to live to that. We live to that. So today, family, okay, now for those who love that weight loss chart, I had to do it. Please forgive me. Your EMA had to get rid of the water weight chart. I'll put it back up at another time, I promise. So today, we're going to talk about some things, some different herbs today, and mainly about hibiscus. And these type of things we're going to talk about today is all about fighting flus, and we're going to be continuing a little bit as long as during the winter season. Remember, we talked about we were going to be talking some teas and some herbs and some flowers and things like that help you with flus, colds, viruses, and right on down the line. And one of the things we're going to talk about today is about hibiscus. Can you believe it's high in vitamin C? You're right. Who loves vitamin C oxidation? Me. Who likes anti-inflammatories? Me. Who thinks the Creator has created all things to the praise of his glory? Me. Hallelujah. I love you for that. One of the things we're going to talk about. Hey, and while we're at it, this particular plant, and the reason, you know what, not only is this particular hibiscus, and you all check with Post, because from time to time, I send you segments, and they're called Did You Know? Did You Know segments. And I want you to check the Post, and the Post, every time, I try to do at least once a week.
The last one you said was about butter and margarine.
Yes. The last one I said was about butter and margarine, family, you remember. And the difference between the butter and margarine and what it's all about. It's basically for taste, but it's not really good for the body. And all the things that it does, it tears down the body, family. I used to think years ago, when I was still in my early 20s, I used to think that margarine was so cheap and it was an inexpensive way to get the flavor and stuff like that. Little did I know, it was tearing down the body.
Everything that's cheap, a lot of it's bad for you.
Huh?
A lot of the food that's cheap is the stuff that's bad.
That's the bad stuff. Because you know what? You know what they say, Tobias? They say, one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yeah. Right.
So family, I'm sorry to tell you that. That's one man's trash.
It's nothing.
Another trash that we need to stay away from. Right. So let me say this, and continue to check with the Post, because we get Did You Know segments often, more often than any, because I'll be thinking sometimes of you guys, and I'll put those Did You Know segments. This is one of those times, family, did you know hibiscus, even though it's a plant and it's beautiful, it looks like almost like a rose-colored plant. That's hibiscus. And I remember a while back, I told you that a neighbor next door, and they had a hibiscus plant, and it was so beautiful, and I just wanted a piece of it. And well, anyway, you love people where they are. Hallelujah. So what he didn't realize, guess what the Father blessed me with? The Father blessed me with so many leaves that I could not even, and it wasn't from my next door neighbor. It was from the Creator himself. And hibiscus smells so good when it's brewing for teas. It's just the flower part, but you can use it during the wintertime, family, because it's so rich in vitamin C. And not only vitamin C, and you know what? You can add ginger to it. You would add ginger to just a pinch of ginger to change the taste, but also helps with it just boosted it up another notch. Hibiscus is good for lowering diabetes, lowering cholesterol. I wrote it down this time so y'all can see. But it lowers cholesterol. Okay, for those, let me get to the people who are, I shouldn't say vain. What's another word for vain? More loving the outside appearance. Let's go that part. Appreciating the outside appearance. We're gonna go there first, and then I'll tell you what it really does. Oh, I love it. We're not gonna be here long. Try not to be here long today either. A shout out to my children in Ohio. Your EMA love you, think you wonderful, and I want you to try this hibiscus tea. My babies, I want a kiss from your Mima to you in Ohio. And I want you all to know that I love you. And I want you to try this tea because it's really, really good. And when you drink it, you're gonna love it. Your mom's gonna put a little ginger in there and sweeten it with a natural sweetener. And if you want a little bit more tart, put some pomegranate molasses. Woo! That's gonna take it another notch. You're gonna love it. I'll tell you about the recipe. I'll tweak it too. I'll send it on the post. But let's go. Yes.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
See the note on screen over there. It's coming up early like the other camera, so I ain't gonna do it. Go right ahead.
Hey, yes. Okay, for those who are more, let's go to the ones who are outside before we go in, and we're gonna go from outside in. How about that? Do you know the hibiscus tea is gonna help with our weight? It helps because it's good for the high inflammation, high blood pressure, diabetes. You know, that also helps with the weight. It helps maintain your weight management. This is what hibiscus is, that little beautiful red plant. I should have brought some instead of some yerba mate today. We brought yerba mate tea. Tobias, like they says, it's just like coffee.
Yeah,
just like
coffee. That perks you right on.
And it perks you
up. As soon as I drink it, it's like my eyesight got better too.
Yerba mate.
Normally I'm squinting from back here.
See?
I can see it. There's no haziness or nothing. I mean, it's a tad bit blurry, but I can see my fluid today.
Yerba mate will help with those eyes. Because another thing that's in yerba mate is vitamin A. So you got it. But we'll talk about yerba mate next time. But I'm just telling you all, this is what we have to drink today. And then we've got yerba mate, and I'm drinking cacao with a little cinnamon. And we're drinking that today. Well, join us sometime when you're in our area. Come down to the center and have some tea with us. And the best, everyone loves that Thai tea, which we're going to get on that another time. Now, did you know, because it manages weight, it's good to regulate your blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol. It helps. Now, that's because it pertains to weight. It helps with the weight because it gets rid of that excess water weight. Because you know another thing that it does, because it helps with stomach issues, and it cures stomach issues. That's another reason why we like that. And that's another thing that came to the interest. Remember I told you guys I had this food poisoning a while back, and that was another thing that made me want to enhance and go more for my hibiscus tea. So it helps with stomach disorders. It cures it, as a matter of fact. And the colorectal correction, the colorectal cancer, it helps with that. And improves blood sugar. And also, for those who are dealing with asthma, you can drink hibiscus tea, and it is fantastic. It helps with the asthma because it clears up all that lungs and stuff like that in your body. Just an FYI. And because it does that, it helps with your, now when you're drinking hibiscus tea, family, make sure you're not doing a whole lot or too strong at one time, because it will help as it helps with the relaxant on the urination. So it'll help you go to the potty a little bit because it clears everything out. It cleans everything out. So think on that part. Now, not only that, and it fights colds too. It goes straight to the body and it begins to kill that bacteria, that fungus, and all that stuff in the top part of your head and even in the chest. It goes as an excellent flu, colds, bacteria, it boosts it because also the vitamin C, don't forget that. And then when you add that extra ginger, it's going to do the job. And it wakes you up, it perks you up. It's not because I had a little bit of hibiscus this morning, but it also perks you up a little bit. Not as much as yerba mate, but it does perk you up a little bit. It helps you just get that little energy and keep it moving. Now, I mentioned too that for those who are concerned about the hair, do you know they used to use your hibiscus, and it's not because of you. It's not because of you. But check this out, family. In the older days, in older days, they used to use hibiscus, and they would make a tea out of it, and they would make it like almost like to spritz in the hair. And it strengthens the hair shaft. Now, for those people that don't want your hair to turn red, don't leave it on there real long, and you want to dilute it, because it will dye your hair red eventually. And let me tell you, I'll tell you a secret. One day when I was using hibiscus and I went to see my babies in Texas, shout out to my nanas. I love you, this nana, love you. Thank you. I think you're wonderful. And I forgot too. They told me to shout out to. There's a young man, and he watches all of my YouTube. He's under the age of 12, and he came. His father is one of the. I don't remember his name, but he's under the age of 12. And they said, EMA, he watches all of your YouTubes. He can't wait. He's under the age of 12. He might be 12 or under. And he watches all my YouTube. Shout out to my baby. All my young people who your Mima love you. Don't forget that. And continue to share it with your mom and your dad about how to stay healthy. I love it. Now, back to the hair. It will turn your hair red if you use it a long time. I started to tell you one summer I was using hibiscus tea, and I was spritzing it in the scalp. And as I was spritzing it in the scalp, one day one of the babies said to me, my daughter-in-law, she said, Mama, your hair is a beautiful little red. It's different colors. It's brown and red and all those highlights. I said, highlights? And she said, in the sun, it just glistens. And I didn't realize it was the hibiscus. Because you can take it, it strengthens the hair shafts, it stops the hair from falling out. Can you believe that? They used to use it as a paste years ago, a while back centuries ago. And they would have people, just because we live in today's, you can still use these different remedies for the hair. Nothing like I was talking to my auntie the other day, and she's in her 80s, of course, shout out to my auntie, in her 80s, and she said that there's so many things that they still use today, but they won't tell, the Food and Drug Administration is another word, another thing, another time for another story. Hair loss, and it helps your hair grow. How about that? We're having issues with all that before I started cutting my hair, and I love cutting my hair, you all. Anyway, so it helps with that. It protects against so many different types of cancers, family. Remember we said it helps with colorectal cancer. It also helps with different viruses in the stomach cancer. And it helps with anti-spasmodic, so the bacteria doesn't develop and grow in the intestine. So that's what it does. And not only that, it heals minor wounds. So family, if you have a little child, a little baby, and they have a little wound or here or there on their little skin or whatever, you can take that tea and put a little bit of tea. It's going to change color, but it'll eventually die out, lose its strength and not be as potent to dye the skin. But our Hebrews have all red, orange, different tints in our skin anyway, so it'll just blend in. But you can put a little bit of that and take that tea and wipe the wounds of the baby if they have scrapes and things like that. We have hibiscus tea, and it heals real fast. So it also, ladies, that time of the month, it improves your mood. We know feeling.
What was that again?
Hibiscus.
Oh, okay.
Hibiscus improves the mood
Oh, okay.
of the woman and the men too. But it helps with that time of the month. We already know fennel does, but then hibiscus is wonderful. And then you know what? It improves not, if it does wonderful things for the hair, just imagine what it does for the skin. It's gonna give you that beautiful skin. You can spritz a little bit in the summertime. I used to spritz a little bit on the skin. Have a little issue or whatever, a little rash or whatever in the yard, and I had some hibiscus tea. And before I put any type of natural sweetener on it, just take the hibiscus tea strong and you spritz it on the skin, and it cleanses it right away. I mean, you'll think of it and you'll say, wasn't that a little rash or something? And it was the hibiscus tea family. That hibiscus tea is one thing you want in your cabinet for this particular time. You want to keep that in your body because it is cold. It helps with colds, hiccups. If the baby has little hiccups and you say, EMA, we want to help with they have a little hiccup going on. What can I do? Do that with the hibiscus tea. I took the liberty of doing some other little things here with the hibiscus tea so you all can know. I saved a few little things, family. But hibiscus tea is one of those things, when I call a beast, and I took my little notes, so I wanted you all to know about this, and I didn't want to forget anything. So that hibiscus tea is no joke. You know what, one of the things that years ago, and I was talking to Mr. about it, and I said, honey, did you know about hibiscus tea? He said, you know, we used to use that years ago when the children would be out in the yard and they would be playing so hard. He said sometimes in the past, in the centuries, the 1700s or so, they would have little issues because of the heat. And to keep the children from having heat strokes, they gave them, it refresh, he calls it a refreshing drink.
Oh, it's like a coolant.
It's one of those coolants. And it adapts to the body, so it'll even help the body not to just to be a coolant, but it'll warm the body up at the same time. And all the phlegm, like if you have a little phlegm going on in your throat, family, and you're saying, well, I don't have a sore throat, but it's just this phlegm, mucus in the back. You can drink hibiscus tea, and because of the vitamin C again, that vitamin C, it will clear it out like a beast. And it gets rid of the flame and stuff like that. So you might want to see it that part. And it's really acute, and it'll happen, what I mean by acute, sharp. It'll do it like that. But one of the things that it'll do for you, and then before you know it, all of this will be cleared out. You just want to add a little, and let me tell you how to do it. Okay. Family, it's good for hypertension. Oh, I also forgot to tell you, it's good for hypertension. So if you're having hypertension, it's good for that as well. And it's used in hypertension in other countries, especially Mexico and different other places that are very extremely hot. They use it for those places. And if you can get it for other places, basically for those places that are really hot, they use it for hypertension because of the sunstrokes and things like that. You can do that, and it's good for the phlegm. Now, I was going to tell you something real quick. And also because it's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's an antioxidant. We love antioxidants. And it's packed with minerals and vitamins, babies. Not just vitamin C, but we're going to talk about that too. We love it. And I know we're not going to be long. So, family, I was going to give you my recipe. And I must love you, but it don't taste like mine. For those trying to make it taste like mine, it's not going to taste like the mama. But it's good. So you take your hibiscus, you can get the leaves. Now, I love hibiscus because when you first originally open it up, or you smell the blossom, it has this beautiful, there's no smell like it. It's really almost like a rosy type of smell, but fragrance, but it smells really, really fragrant. And when you boil it, make sure it gets to the right, because it can turn as brilliant red. It almost looks like when you boil it or brew it, it has this brilliant red color. And what you do when it gets to a certain, you're going to brew it for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then turn the heat off and let it set for about and let it cool for about 5 minutes, and then you can add more to it. Now what you can do is add like a pinch of ginger. You can put like a half a lemon in there if you like yours a little tart, your tea's a little tart, and then put your natural sweetener to it. I normally like mine tart, and I add pomegranate tea, pomegranate molasses to mine from time to time, and that's what really brings it out and gives you that wonderful, robust taste. Mr. loves it. And family, did you remember to do your tamarindo the other night to go to rest? I bet you didn't. You forgot to do your tamarindo. They call it tamarindo. A tamarind tea to help you rest, and it helps you. And it put him to sleep really well last night. Hallelujah! Yes.
Yes, one of my family members unidentified shebrew was asking.
I love that unidentified shebrew. I love you, girl.
She's asking, is this fresh or dry hibiscus? Petals, leaves, or stems?
The leaves. Do the blossoms, the petals. And I should have brought some petals. I'll try to remember next week to show you what the petals look like. They're dried petals, you can get it like that. And when you get the petals, they take that little yellow part out. That is the pollen. They take the pollen out and they just leave you with the petals around it. And you can do that, you can dry that, and that's what you use. It's the petals. And then when you do it, then you can brew it, just like any other tea. And don't forget, it helps with cholesterol. It aids with helping the cholesterol. And so, yes, it's one of those good, healthy, beautiful tastes. And you can do all that stuff at the same time while getting really healthy. I love that unidentified shebrew. Go girl, bring me some more questions. Miss EMA loves you. But you know what? Not only that, you know what? You can, let me tell you, and I'll tell you another thing. That's what I was going to tell you real quick. Remember I was telling you I was using it for my hair, and I was using it for the hair in the summertime because I was trying to be vain, let me just put it out there, trying to be vain, trying to cover some of the gray. And I spritzed my hair, and that's what turned into red and the brown, the different colors of the sun. But little did I know that it was growing the hair in certain other places. Now, you know, there are other areas where you don't see it in the back, and so because then, like I said, this is years ago when I was still using the perm and trying to be like, trying to check my words. Instead of trying to be a Hebrew.
Right.
Let's put it like that.
Right. You was in the world.
I was in the world. And I was still putting you in the perms and stuff like that, and like Mr. said, burning the hair out. And with that flat iron. But I'm still trying to be in the world and grown. But anyway, it grew the hair like that. It grew because it's a stimulant so much for the scalp and the hair. It grew the hair. Now, like I said,
we still talking about hibiscus, right?
Still talking about hibiscus.
You got something with you today?
No, I didn't bring it today. I brought some, but everybody jumped on it this past.
That was Theo jumping on it.
It was Theo.
Yeah.
When he sees red.
You left him the whole jug, I see.
Yes. So family, it does work. It stimulates the hair shafts. Is what it does, and it keeps it from breaking because it strengthens the hair. So I just wanted you all to be aware of that. And you know what? And it acts almost like it helps with the heart. So because of the hypertension and the cardiac, it all deals with all that. And it clears all that out. And because of that, when you think about it, yeah, it's going to help with the hair because it helps move plaque and stuff like that out. So it has those pretensions. So when people say, EMA, there was some, from time to time we get a little visitor and he comes and he's like, he deals with hypertension and he has to go to diabetes and all that for his blood filters. This is something that you might want to keep in your pantry, family. So it's good for all year round, just so that you all know that. It's good all year round. And another thing, because it's a good oxidation, that's why it helps with the heart and other places that you would never imagine. And keep in mind, we go in and out of places all day, and we're out in the atmosphere where they have all kind of toxins and stuff like that out in the air, just the outside air. And so this is something that family that helps continue to push out toxins, help continue to keep you healthy. These are just some things that help you. And remember this, not all teas are created equal. Let me throw that out there. Not all teas are created equal. If you don't have that fragrance when you open the bag, or that, or you don't have a smell at all, it's been there for a minute or two. So that's why we're going to use the lemon. Remember we said half a lemon to help with that and to boost, and it aids with that in areas. So I just wanted to put that out there for you all. You had a question?
No, that was it.
Yeah. So family, I'm trying to find what I was going to bring. I'm still helping with that. So to some people, it helps. Some people say, EMA, but hibiscus puts me to sleep. It helps with sleep. But it depends on the temperament of the body. The majority of the people, it helps with their, give them perky. Because of the oxidation, it brings oxygen to the blood, which actually gives you that energy. And so that's something that you all might want to be aware of that. So, but like I said, for some people, it helps with it. Some people it puts them to sleep. For others, it helps perky up because of the oxygen. And because it's so good with that viral infection, families. And please forgive me, I'm sorry to call you all babies. I love you. Don't charge my heart. Charge you. But anyway, because it's such a viral infective fighter. For some influences, it helps with influenza is the word I'm looking for. Influenza. So this time of the year, one of the reasons why I thought about this particular tea for you guys today, because it helps with influenza. And it's really, really good for colds and bacteria and stuff like that. It's an antiviral, antibacterial type of tea. So I just wanted to put that out there for you guys. And you know what? For some that are saying, EMA, that vitamin C, yes. It boosts your immune system. It causes, those pathogenic attacks on the body. Family, you can give it to your children and put it in their lunch boxes. You know those little things that are closed and all that. You could freeze it and put it in so that they can use it as a popsicle. I'm giving you all my little things that I used to give our son when he was little. When he was itty bitty, because he had this thing where. Anyway, I'm not gonna put his business down the street. He already had that. But you make it out of a popsicle, with those and babies that love, and you can help with them with that particular time of year. You had a question. So you don't have to make it out of tea. Make it out of a popsicle, and you can give it to the babies as a good treat. Yes.
Question was from our family member here in the live chat, DJ C-No. I'm just gonna go with DJ C-No because there's a lot there. Family is asking, what's it take to give me energy if I'm sleepy and tired, and how much energy, what's it take? Okay, we basically want to know what can you take to get energy. The last part kind of confused.
Okay, like we said before, family, you could do yerba mate, because yerba mate will bring oxygen.
The DJ C-No, the Brian Gibson out the live chat, Mr. Hebrew one. Shalom, Brian Gibson.
Shalom, love. Shalom. I love you. You can use yerba mate because it brings oxygen back into the blood system. You can use cacao, which is like on the chocolate end, but it's cacao. We talked about that on a prior episode. You could use things like peppermint tea is good. You can boost the immune system back up. You can use those are just a few. You could use even hibiscus. That's good for boosting the immune system and actually give you the energy. You can do, you know what, if you're into oils, you can do eucalyptus oil, and you can take your eucalyptus oil and you can use it as an incense around the house. It boosts you can use thyme. You can use thyme tea. Ooh, let me tell you something. If you really want to really boost, do some now. Some say EMA, but this really works. You can take it's thyme tea. Drink some thyme tea, which boosts the energy, and you can also do jasmine tea. You can burn. This is what I did for Mr. one day. Here I go again, Mr. I love it. Take jasmine incense. You can go, but make sure you get the pure. Don't get that other stuff. Get pure jasmine incense.
Go to the liquor store and get the jasmine incense.
No, please don't go to the liquor store and get jasmine. Order you some real jasmine. Not all jasmines created equal, family. And take some jasmine and incense, and you can burn it. And then take and then get some jasmine tea, which is a green from the green tea, and it's a green tea, and you can drink jasmine tea. Now, if you're having it in the house and you're doing the incense, you can do either, like I said, the thyme or the jasmine tea. And love talking about a boost. You do not need that boost. Will be like you have the function of the brain. Your brain power is like, woo! You'll be thinking of everything. Now, you want to do this, but make sure it's not at night. Make sure it's during the day or in the morning when you first get up, you burn your jasmine and then go for the thyme tea. And here I'm going to give you a little bit of, now it's not going to taste like mine, I'm going to give you everything in the thyme. But you do a little boil, you do your thyme, put a little bit of lemon in it. Put a little bit to sweeten it to sweet to your taste. We don't do sugar, we do honey, agave, and a little bit, and it will take you there. Those are just a few things. You can do green tea. Now, green tea does have caffeine in it. That's why your EMA cannot do a lot of green tea. And there's a tea called Rubio. What do they say?
Unidentified said, we might need to do a lesson exclusively on teas and explain the medical problems.
Oh, baby!
And I was just commenting back saying that she has a tea for every lesson.
For every lesson. There we go. Let me tell you all about the Rubio. Let me tell you what it spells like. This is what it spells like. Can you get on this side? Rubio, I think it's Rubio. Rubius or Rubio. Rubio tea.
It's ROBIO.
Let me make sure, because I got it in my phone.
Oh, okay.
Wait, let me do it here. Because guess what, family? When I do the Rubio tea, oh man, I can barely handle it because there's so much caffeine in it.
I need some ready.
And you want some of that? I'll bring you some. It's ROOIBOS.
Okay.
My handwriting is atrocious. ROOBIOS. There's an S here. And family, this Rubio's tea. There's another one called Red Bush. The reason why I knew about all these different types of teas, because when I was coming up as young and I was trying to get my degrees, and I had our son, and I was trying to do all those other things, I was trying to be Superwoman. And I went and I could not do caffeine anymore because different issues are going on. Now, family, if you have heart issues, high blood pressure, cholesterol, you might want to not do this as go dive into this different teas that I'm telling you all about now. You want to take your time with it, only do a little bit at a time, do it increments, and then when it gets so that you feel the tension of it, stop. Don't dive into it. All these teas that I'm telling you all about, and I don't know how you all knew that I had all this stuff and just saved into this thing. It's called Save. And a lot of this you might want to check because it's a hypertension and all that kind of stuff. That's why we want to get away from coffee, the regular coffee, unless you have to know that you can get the coffee beans, and not all coffee beans are created equal. So that's why we got away from the coffee. We do the natural herbs that are just as good. Matcha and maca.
Oh yeah, maca.
That maca is no joke either. So you want to try those particular things, family. If now,
I know there's different type of maca. You got black maca.
You got black maca and the. Now, when you talk about, remember, the more melanin, the more potent. When they say the black of the berry, the sweet of the juice, that's no joke. It really is. So the dark maca is strong. It's strong. So, but depending on your body type, know your body, family. Remember we said know your body. Know your body.
Your body, depending on you know your body determines how much of the dosage you can take. Gotcha.
So know your body, family, because some, like, give an example. Our son, he can't do caffeine either. And it just, because he has that natural energy. So
he's like a spark.
He just give him he's at it all day. Give him B12, give him his B complexes. Once you keep him with that B complexes, and B complexes is another thing. So your body's probably telling you that you need some minerals and vitamins in your body, people. Don't forget that. Family, I love you too much. And I want you all to know that there might be some symptoms, the reason why you're dealing with this not enough energy. You want to look at that as well. It could be that you're depleted in energy because of certain minerals that you're lacking in, certain vitamins that you're lacking in. You're not getting enough exercises, or muscles, not having enough exercise because your muscles need exercise. So you want to make sure of that as well. So make sure you have your B complexes. You have your you know, when I was coming up too, I got so draped with that. So I got to find out that it goes higher than, years ago, higher than just B12. You got stuff like B50 and different other B complexes. So when you get your liquid B complexes, make sure it has different B's in it. Go to B50, B12, make sure your B's are in there. And you want to take, I would do, if it's a deficiency, family, make sure you have your A, B, C, D, and E. Because it could be, I'm trying to talk too fast. It could be that one of these are deficient in it. So you want to make sure of that, okay? So when you do that, make sure. These teas are, once you put that together and with the different teas you got, you go, oh, you'll be singing like your EMA. I love it. So when you get in let me say this to you. When you first get up in the morning, family, when you do your cayenne pepper and your vinegar and your vinegar tea, your cayenne pepper tea, before you do that, you're going to chase it with a lemon. That's to push everything out, the toxins, because it could be toxins that are built up in your body, and you want to push that out in order to bring oxygen to the body. So when you push those things out first, and then you're taking your lemon water, hot lemon water in the morning with a little bit of ginger and a little bit of turmeric. You're pushing those things out, and then see how how you are then. Once you go from there, don't forget your cumin is another thing you could do that helps push that and brings oxygen to the body. You could also use your cumin, your basil, your liquid basil, which is called tulsi or holy basil. That helps us for the body and it pushes things out, and it also helps with oxygen. Family, there's so many other things you could do before you go to or substitute toward caffeine, okay? Keep that in mind. And it could be just that you just need to exercise in the mornings or the evenings and brings oxygen back to the body. So you can do that. And it also keeps that blood circulating. Now, for a while, and I'll admit this to you, for the last month, I have not done my exercises. And my body can tell it. A month, woo, my body can tell it, family. Not because I'm old. I'm not old. But just because when you're used to it, your body can tell you, we need to go for a run. We need to go for a walk. We need to bring some oxygen. When I was working years ago, I used to do something. I want y'all to know this. I did something and I cleaned my sinuses. You all know when I do stuff like that, when I have to, it's my sinuses draining, I do it last, and I should have did it early when I first got up in the morning. So don't look at me on that part, yeah. So, but anyway, when I was working and I would fall asleep at my, don't tell them, but I would fall asleep and I was like, what is going on? So the first thing came to mind, and I knew it was the Ruach HaKodesh, was say, on your lunch break, go for a walk. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for a walk on my lunch break. And I would go for, my lunch break was like for an hour. And I went for half an hour for a walk every day. And when I got back, I would drink water before, during, and after my walk. And I would be so, after that half an hour walk, it was around the park, in that little trail. And I would walk around, and when I would get back, I would be so packed with energy. And then turn around and drink my red bush tea. Baby, all day. I could do what I need to do until about 9, 10 o'clock, get everything I need to do, even my classes and all that, and come back and be ready by 10 o'clock to go to bed. Now, that's called, you got oxygen in the blood, you got all the right amount of oxygen in the blood, and then you got that energy because it brings oxygen and strength. So you have to make sure you do your I started to tell you this also. When you do get your B complexes, make sure you get the liquid B complexes because it assimilates better into the mouth and to the body, and it goes better into the system. So get your liquid B. Just like if you want to do your vitamin C, make sure you do the liquid vitamin C because it assimilates faster and better in the body. Such as when you're taking different capsules, when you're taking your vitamin capsules and things like that, try to open them up and check to make sure that those capsules
are made out of pork.
There you go, are not made out of pork. Make sure. And if it's vegetable based, you can even just open them up and then put them in there. And some people say, Emma, that is so nasty. No, it might taste nasty, but you know what? You're mixing that in, you're putting it in, and you're taking a little envelope and pushing it down and chasing with your lemon water. Oh yeah, you don't barely taste it.
You're not eating for taste, you're eating for health.
Hey, not for taste, for health.
Right.
And it assimilates better in the body because your body doesn't have to break down that capsule. So, and here's a little FYI. Years ago, I heard about this man. He was doing all these different types of vitamins, and he was just doing these vitamins. And when they opened them up, they was like, "What is going on?" And they would, for some reason, they were looking at going through his body, and they were checking in his intestines. I forgot what the reason was. And they found all these capsules still lodged in his stomach, and it was in his body. And I was like, "What is all this?" It was because of all the years of capsules that he had been taking instead of dissolving them and acclimating them to the body. So that's just a thought. Just a thought. So family, I think you are wonderful. I think I've talked to you. So somebody said, Emma, Barb, you talk a mile a minute. I try. So I have so much to tell you all. That's what it is. I love you so much. Was I going to tell you about that tea? Yes, I was going to tell you about that tea real quick. So take I had red bush tea. And so with the red bush tea, I don't know whether you can still find it anymore. So what you do, if you can still find the red bush tea, take the red bush tea and add a little bit of lemon, of course, a pinch of ginger. Y'all know I love ginger. And take it and to your taste. And it is wonderful for the body. And it strengthens the heart as well. This EMA thinks you're wonderful. I think, blessed be he, master and creator, who made you in his image. And don't let anybody tell you that you're not worth the breath of the Most High. He loves you with an incredible love, and he loves you too much to leave you the stagnant or the way you are. You are created to go from level to level, go from increase to increase, whether it's not in your body size, but in your mind, your heart, your spirit, your soul, and your being. He created you to be in his image. I like this prayer. It says, Baruch atah Adonai, Elohim Eloheinu melech haolam, who made us in his image. Blessed be he, master and creator of all eternity, who made us in his image. Hallelujah. You were made in his image, not to be what people think, but how the creator needed and wants you to be from this time forward. It's to come to that fruition, the flourishing of excellence, accuracy, skill, and efficiency. This EMA thinks you're wonderful. Blessings on your day. Psalms 91 all around about you. And don't forget to keep an eye on the post. Why? Blessings.